afternoon, and thank you for being here again. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Kurt Kellogg, spokesperson for the 25th Infantry Division. Lieutenant Scott Carr, spokesperson for the U.S. Coast Guard's 14th District. Fire Chief Paul Fukuda, who's the Battalion Fire Chief for the 5th Battalion of the Honolulu Fire Department, and Lieutenant John Hochstad from Ocean Rescue here on the island of Oahu. I want to thank them and their organizations once again for everything that they've been contributing to this relentless search and rescue operation that we have ongoing to bring our soldiers home. I'd also like to thank the U.S. Navy, who've contributed aircraft and personnel to assist in the search and rescue operations in the last 24 hours. Additionally, the Department of Land and Natural Resources, the Conservation Enforcement Division here for Honolulu in the state of Hawaii, who've also been assisting in the search as we continue it for another day. It's a true team effort, and it's fixated on locating our soldiers. In a moment, I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Carr, and he can give you some details on how the Coast Guard is conducting the search and rescue operation and how they've been doing that for the last 24 hours since we gave you the last update. But first, I'd like to highlight where we stand in the search for our missing UH-60 Blackhawk aircrew. First, I will continue to emphasize that this is still a highly active search and rescue operation. That is our focus, and that is our mission, bringing our soldiers home. We constantly have assets in the air and on the water, searching for the aircrew and recovering debris. We believe is related to this incident, and that's been ongoing for the last 24 hours. Additionally, we have a team from the United States Army Combat Readiness Center headquartered at Fort Rucker, Alabama, arriving today to assist us as we look into this incident. The Combat Readiness Center normally assists with accidents that may have Army-wide impact once we know the findings of what happened in that particular incident. I'd also like to remind those watching at home, particularly the local residents, that as we stated yesterday, we encourage those residents that are out on the water as they find debris to please contact the Coast Guard Sector Honolulu Command Center at 808-842-2600. If it's found on the shoreline, if it's found on land, we ask that they call the 25th Combat Aviation Brigade at 808-656-1080. I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Carr now for details on the conduct of the search and rescue.
Thank you, Colonel. Good afternoon, everybody. Lieutenant Scott Carr, Coast Guard spokesman, District 14. I was going to give you an update on search and rescue efforts. So the Coast Guard is continuing to coordinate search and rescue efforts today. We are looking for the 5 missing aviators, and we are doing that with both surface and air assets. We're joined, of course, by the Honolulu Fire Department and our partners at Ocean Safety and Department of Lands and Natural Resources. As the Colonel mentioned, the United States Navy, and of course the U.S. Army. This is a very active search, and we continue around the clock as we look for these Army aviators. This is a complex response. It is expanded out to 50 miles offshore, and presently long-range fixed-wing aircraft are searching those areas. Our helicopters and our surface assets are searching between 15 to 20 miles offshore. The Coast Guard and its partners are utilizing all available resources to find the missing aviators. As first responders, the Coast Guard, Fire Department, and Ocean Safety are very well trained and prepared for these complex situations. We work regularly with the Fire Department and with Ocean Safety, and without them and the great efforts that they bring, we would not be successful in a lot of the work that we do. So we're very happy to have them out here, and we appreciate their efforts. But I do want to be clear that this is an active search and rescue case. One additional update for you is that the Coast Guard captain of the port has established a safety zone around the majority of the search area. The center point for that safety zone is roughly 5.5 miles northwest of Kaena Point and has a radius of about 5 miles. Boaters are not authorized to enter that safety zone without the permission of the captain of the port. Coast Guard Sector Honolulu is providing safety information on that safety zone via Channel 16 on Marine Band radio. So we would ask that, especially as we get closer to the weekend, we'll see a lot more boating traffic. That is a high fishing area, that people be aware and they are operating in a safe environment. Search conditions are similar than they were yesterday. As you can see, we have very good visibility. We do have wind. The sea state,
it's very similar to yesterday. 3 to 6 foot swell, open ocean seas, short interval, again, very chaotic.
Right. So there are Coast Guard helicopters that are operating around the clock, along with Coast Guard fixed-wing aircraft and Navy P-3 aircraft, and they're operating 24 hours a day. Around the clock they are flying out of Air Station Barbers Point, and of course for the Navy aircraft that would be out of Marine Corps Base Hawaii. Our cutters, they remain on scene. Coast Guard Cutter Walnut is on scene and coordinating all surface assets. Coast Guard Cutter Ahi did depart the scene today. They went in, they pulled back into the port of Honolulu, and they are being replaced by a 110-foot patrol boat. One of our other patrol boats is coming out to replace them. Coast Guard small boats, and of course the fire department has smaller vessels out, and the ocean safety also has jet skis. So basically what happens is our command center that coordinates this, they plan out the search and rescue. They look at the assets that are available to them, what capabilities they have, and we plot out search grids for them, and they work that area. And so you're looking at it from a fixed wing aircraft to helicopters to surface assets, and they're looking at where is the debris moving toward, and that is the likely area that these aviators may have, because they would be in the water, they may have drifted in the same direction. So we use that local knowledge that I talked about yesterday. Of course, we use that search and rescue planning tool that we have to coordinate those plans for search and rescue. I am not aware of any debris that has made it to shore.
Tell you about the Navy team that's here. They're just employing the assets that they have available to them to assist with the larger search and rescue effort. They have unique capabilities that they bring to bear, and one of those is certainly the robotics that you mentioned. But I don't know specifically the time, but I know they've been out here today assisting. Exactly what tools they use today, I don't know. I know additional debris has been recovered. I don't have specifics on what that is. Right, so that salvage team that was just mentioned, that they are divers, they are dive qualified. They are not diving. No, they are using the other assets that they have available right now to assist with the search and rescue.
This is normal. Search areas do expand. As we talked a little bit yesterday, we talked about the currents. Anytime you're in the water, you get drift. And so the currents go in different directions. Certain currents actually move north, certain currents move west, and that's going to expand over. It's going to expand your search area over time. So we're very aware of that, and we plan out ahead of it, and so that's why it expands out. This is normal, and we have the assets and the resources and the knowledge to plan for it. The plan into the evening is, again, as we was last night. Coast Guard cutters will stay out overnight. Coast Guard aircraft will continue to search throughout the evening. As I said before, around the clock. We will be working in some of the Navy aircraft so that we can give some of our fixed-wing aircraft a little bit of downtime, a little rest. Not so much the aircraft, but the crews, and so we can keep going as long as it takes.
Again, our concern or our focus has been shoreline to 3 miles out. So today we've launched our jet-powered watercraft, patrolled. We started out on the outside and worked our way back on the inside. Again, just searching for debris and working with the air assets as well there to see anything. We will retrieve it or more closely identify what is out there. Again, we have not been able to find any debris today. Again, we're just 3 miles, shoreline to 3 miles out is our limit. We've concentrated our efforts on this side of Kaena Point today. Yesterday we had assets on both sides of Kaena Point, but again, based on the drift models, we've been focusing on this side, this shoreline from HALE'IWA to Kaena Point.
We're assisting, again, the Coast Guard, Ocean Safety, and the Army with our air, land, and sea. We have teams searching Kaena Point on foot. We have our rescue watercraft in the water and also our rescue boat. We also have our Air One that's flying. So we're concentrating our efforts from the shoreline out to about 3 to 5 miles out.
They certainly are. We are in contact with all the family members, and they are getting routine updates on the status of the search and rescue operations, and we will continue to do that multiple times every day and throughout the night. We are not releasing the names of the missing service members at this time. No, we're not releasing any identifiable information about the service members. They're determined. The entire unit, the entire division, matter of fact, everyone you see at the site, from the fire department to Ocean Safety to the Coast Guard, the Navy, everyone has been resolute and determined that we're going to get after this and bring our soldiers home. That's what we're focused on, and you can see it in everything they did do. There's a purpose, there's a seriousness, and there's a determination. They certainly go through emergency procedures to include downed helicopter scenarios, so yes. All right, well, we thank you very much. Have a good day.
Captain America's gone today. Captain America, what did you say? Oh, open the book now and turn the page. Must be an error, still reads the same. Oh, I hear your people, they all call your name. It's just